Ed Goodfriend. It's going to start in a second. What did you say, David?
I need to take this phone call.
Okay. And YouTube is rolling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just got to cut the sound. Okay, go. Hey. Yeah, good. I'm gonna kill that. All right. Oh, Sandy Natson's coming too. Okay, so this is guys. As soon as Sandy gets here, hi Ed.
Hey.
This is our 21st, believe it or not, Zoom songwriters, the Art of Songwriting, started by our friend in what's her V. Help me, Ed. Valerie. Valerie. Oh my God, Valerie. It's not you. It's my brain dropping out. And actually, we're brought to you by COVID-19. So it drove us online, and we're going. Hi, Sandy. Everybody's here. Well, I don't know if everybody's here or not. Do you have anything, Ed?
No, I'm sorry to say I don't. I got a couple of scraps that are coming along, but they're not presented.
Okay. We can work on scraps the second half. You know, we got 2 numbers coming in for sure. And I think, yeah. Anybody else have any news, comments, or anything? David's taking a phone call. No? Yeah, we lost Jeff. We lost Jeff Beck this year. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It's a loss. All right. Steve, are you ready to go first? Steve just got in from Patagonia.
Really?
Boy, are my arms tired. God.
Why?
And your guitar is out of tune.
I did play a house concert down there, or a listening room.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Fun adventure. Great bunch of people. But let me see. Share screen. Host disabled.
Oh, I got to give share screen permission. Sorry, I'll get on that. Wish I could make sure that was the one who can share. All participants. Okay, can share. Wish I could make that my default, but maybe I can. I just don't know how.
And then they'll change it. So it's.
Oh, Rick Lysak's showing up too. Good.
Hey.
Yeah, we should probably wait till about 5 after on these things.
Okay.
But might be a light night, and we got a lot of things. I have some discussion topics I'd like to introduce if we end up in more time to kill.
Yes.
Can you see the lyrics?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, we see the lyrics. Oh, good.
And the chords, so we can play along.
Yeah. Grab
You're
your
really, you're very quiet, Steve.
Yeah, you're very quiet. I mean, we just balanced his guitar to his voice, but now his voice is kind of.
So it needs to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing has to come up, but keep the balance we decided upon.
Let's try this. Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
That's good.
Is that better? Is that a good
Yep.
mix?
Mhm.
Is that a good balance? Okay.
Sounds
Not
like it.
overdriving.
Yeah.
Okay. So I told Peter right before this started, I am a member of the Nashville Songwriters Association, and they have a Zoom meeting, and I did a couple of them, and they are not fun. You guys are awesome. The people there are just critically terrible, and this one guy, his name's Walter Hertenstein, and he submitted his song, and they ripped him apart. And I'm like, I sent him a private message. I said, don't listen to them. Don't change anything. I will sing this song. And he sent it to me. And I don't know if you can see this part, is I added this right here, these 2 lines. And I said, is that all right? And he goes, oh yeah, pulls it right together. So this is mostly his song, but I think you will just I think you'll feel the same way I do. So this is called One Right Thing. You found me in some disrepair. Let me do this justice again. I'm sorry. You'd found me in some disrepair in my last clean pair of underwear. They always liked them fixer-upper shows. My stock was down, but you took a shine to the well-worn charm and steep decline. Why you bore this burden, heaven only knows. Now all my life's been rough terrain. If they didn't laugh and they'd complain, they said I couldn't do one thing right. Well, I found my one right thing. Less drunk than I have been in years, I held a job and it appeared that you'd pulled off a total renovation. Then your mom got sick and you traveled home, leaving me in this full moon alone. Surely I deserved a celebration. At the time it didn't seem so much, a drink, a look, and then a touch. No, it really wasn't all that much that cost me everything. Funny how it all goes wrong when the one right thing ain't around. You built me up, but I'm crashing down without my one right thing. I'm sifting through the rubble here. The evidence points pretty clear. Your project, it was structurally unsound. You did your best, you gave your all, but such a wreck was born to fall. So leave it where you found it, on the ground. I simply couldn't bear the weight, pressure of a love so great. No steel or lies could fabricate that I was undeserving. Funny how it all goes wrong when the one right thing ain't around. You built me up, but I'm crashing down without my one right thing. Funny how it all goes wrong when the one right thing ain't around. You built me up, but I'm crashing down without my one right thing. Without my one right thing. Without my one right thing.
All right.
Good.
Very nice. We didn't see all the lyrics got truncated, but
Oh, Ro.
yeah, that's all right. Well, we can roll them. We can see them later if you want, but we're good.
Had to do with
Sorry about
construction.
that.
Just to
Yeah.
repeat. Yeah, it was okay.
Let me say before we start, Mr. Hirschberg just, I think, brought it up. I don't, maybe he's re-bringing it up. Somebody else might have started this, but, play some discussion and play again. I think we've been noticing that playing again, we hear things we didn't hear the first time. So if you're willing to do that, Steve, I'm willing to take that process, because unless Rick Lysak may have something, but we just have your song and David Hirschberg's song. So we got plenty of time tonight. Rick, you have anything?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I've been working on something and I don't like it very much, so.
I know that feeling. Okay.
Might be a
so-
great time to play it.
Yeah.
You're
Let's
Maybe
scared.
talk-
we'll hear something that we like.
Let's talk about Steve's song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mainly Walter's song, but
Walter's
Yeah.
song. This is like a one night stand. You guys didn't know each other and you got together and you created a song right off the top without being good buddies most of your life, right?
yeah, I've yet to meet him in person.
There you go.
So, but I just, I couldn't believe that they were bashing him. These lines in there.
You said they were grammarians. I mean, they were getting into grammar and stuff.
Well, yeah, it was, but, oh, they were, one person in particular, and she was just saying, well, it should be this way, and it's like her way and only her way, and I'm like,
Get out of here.
"God, yeah.
I mean, I remember a teacher, an English teacher, would rail about where English language is going down the tube because Winston cigarettes are saying Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. He just doesn't, they don't get it. They don't
Yeah.
understand colloquial. They don't understand new words are taking over old words. Winston tastes as good as a cigarette. That's going to pop along in a jingle. No. And sounds like what they're doing to you.
Yeah.
What did he complain about in particular on that
On
lyric?
that song, I was more flabbergasted than anything,
Yeah.
and I could just see him. He was, kind of, and I'm like, stop! Don't listen to them.
Yeah.
That line. At the time, it didn't seem so much. I've taken it off.
Yeah.
Let me I'll share the screen
Yeah,
again.
reshare it.
Should be the whole thing.
I thought I invented this. It goes around your wrist so you can pull off picks as you lose them. And I thought, well, before I spend money on a patent, I looked it up and you can buy them.
I got a lot of songs like that too.
Yeah. I wrote I Have a Dream for Martin Luther King, but yeah. But he did it first, you're right. Yeah. Right.
What key did you write it in?
Key of I. Yeah.
Hey, Rick, we can't see you, right?
No, is it bad?
You've
Oh.
never looked better, really. No, you haven't got the video feed.
What do I do?
I thought you were having a bad hair day.
Turn
Yeah,
your,
Yeah.
turn
Oh,
your
wait,
video on.
Any hair day is probably good for either of us.
I don't know why. I don't know.
Where it says video and
Where's your
wow.
camera?
Thank you,
there's-
thank you.
Is there a stop video,
Start
start video?
video.
thing? Yeah, there you go.
There
There he
you
is. Oh, there's that face.
I don't think you were
Well,
missing that much. Just say
no,
you
but
need a haircut, just kind of shaggy.
I was talking to a friend the other day, and he said, my wife doesn't understand the way guys will rag on each other, and they really don't mean it, and I said, yeah, I know what you mean. I call people all kinds of names, but if I met somebody really ugly, I wouldn't call them ugly. And he said, yeah, Peter, I'd never call you ugly.
You got set up.
Okay, let's continue with Steve.
Right.
Any
So-
discussion on Steve? Okay, go.
so
Yeah.
go ahead.
I wanted to say, I like the metaphor of the home renovation, the personal renovation.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
just kind of like using a metaphor like that. And I kind of like how you, in the two lines that you said you wrote there, Steve, you couldn't do one thing right and you found your one right thing, just kind of turning the words around. I just kind of like that.
Yeah.
It was because the one right thing kept me up. I was like, something about that's just not. And then, and I tried to change a couple things, and I thought, no, it's not working. And And so I added those 2 lines. I sent it to him. He goes, "Oh yeah, that pulls it right together." And I'm like, so he's easy to work with. I'm going to invite him to our group.
Absolutely.
Oh,
But
good.
and
good.
I'm curious of how many really good songwriters are put off by
Mm-hmm.
these
Of course they are.
So
Mhm.
I'm trying to save as many as I can, one at a time.
work.
But
Mhm.
He's on a mission.
but this line at the time, well, I mean, everything. You traveled home, leaving me in this full moon alone. I'm like, what a great line. And
Mhm.
then
Yeah, I like that line. That's the line I like.
at
It
the
reminds me
time,
a little bit. Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of kind of like a John Prine lyrical song. You know, if it was really slow, if it was slowed down a little bit and sung, you know, more like, you know, like a John Prine song, I think it would be a little bit more powerful.
I think I'll look that over. I'll look into that. And this at the time, it didn't seem so much a drink, a look, and then a touch. No, it really wasn't all that much that cost me everything. I have a hard time singing that because it just
Joke shop.
it tears me apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't all
Yeah.
that much. It cost me everything. So I
Mhm.
think he's just a great writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked, in addition to the metaphor, which I thought was followed pretty nicely all the way through. I like the fact that there was also a story, and the story went from point A to point whatever, I guess B. I'm not really good at
Mhm.
math, but you know, it was a
Don't
coherent
ask for
story.
directions.
So I like the fact that you know, he was kind of multitasking there. That's not always so easy to do.
Yeah.
The one thing that I noticed is that I was really waiting for that chorus to come in.
Mhm.
I was really relieved when it did. You know, and I like it a lot. It just it seemed like it took a while to get there, and I guess it was worth it. But you know, and it'd probably be easier to tell second time around whether I feel the same way or not.
Okay.
But I think those are the course is great.
Should I put it in sooner,
Well, I don't, you know,
or would it be?
You-
I mean, I
Mm.
think it builds up.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Isn't that the kind of standard? 2 verses and then the chorus and then
Well,
verse
yeah,
and chorus.
except-
But I mean, yeah.
And like the second time, the second time there's a bridge, then the chorus comes in.
right.
If you did want to put it in early, you could put it right after that first bridge there.
Yeah.
But I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I was really glad when it came in.
Mm.
So, you know, that's another way of looking at it.
Yeah.
But I think there were a lot of similar chords, you know, going on, lots of similar changes.
yeah. The bridge and the chorus are the same thing.
Yeah.
Just sung different.
So that might
Melody's
be,
a little different on them, but it's the same chord progression.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So I wasn't even looking, I was just listening. But yeah, if so, maybe that is an answer. Except that you have to do something with that other line, those lines you take out, because they're nice lines.
A question, did the man who started this, did he write All My Life Has Been Rough Terrain? That, and you added the bold funny how?
No,
Or what?
I did all my life. All my life's been rough terrain.
Okay,
If
so,
they didn't laugh, then they complained. They said I couldn't do one thing right. Well, I found my one right thing.
okay, I'll
That's
tell you
all I
what,
added.
I tell you what, oh, just that line only
Those two lines.
and not at
These
the
right
time?
here.
And yeah,
All
and
my-
you didn't do the other A minors?
Just this. Is
Just
all
that,
I added.
that's all you, okay, because I was going to say, without the others, it's no song. Okay, I got you. All right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I see the smallness of your contribution
Yes.
then.
I could do with hearing those 2
That's-
lines again, I think.
What 2 lines again?
The 2 that you added, that All My Life. It kind of continues the retrospective of the song.
Mhm.
If that's a theme, that's a recurring theme, it could be useful to repeat it.
Mhm. All right.
I'm not seeing that, but
Where?
I have to let it sink in.
Yeah, I'd have to look at where it might happen.
Yeah.
But it seems like the song has to do with some loss and regret. And if that's an ongoing experience, does it deserve repeating for the listener?
I think the two lines I did just gave it some kind of why he has been in the shape he's in.
Uh-huh.
Like he's been called a loser his whole life, and then he found her, and then, but
Lost.
I think if you have to explain a song, then I've written it wrong.
Yeah, it
So-
rhymes.
It is a
boom,
little,
boom.
it is a little obtuse. I mean, but that's what's good about it. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, A, B, you know,
Yeah,
it is a little, you know, it's a little more intellect in it, and it's more interesting because it is a bit obtuse but it holds together pretty well. I mean, it's also funny and it's self-depreciating.
Tell you what I'll do is I'll shorten this.
That little bar on the bottom might slide it. What do you want to? Oh, okay.
That way we don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay. Hurtenstein. Okay.
Yeah.
Hurten. He's not hurting.
Great
Okay.
guy.
Yeah.
So
sounds
I
like-
just this bothers me, and I'm not sure why it bothers me. It's not because I'm a prude. It's almost too facile, the first two lines. I go back and forth like that fits perfectly. On the other hand, that's just so obvious. On the other hand, that's a grabber. On the other hand, it just seems glib.
What's
Hmm.
what?
You found me in some disrepair in my last clean pair of underwear.
You're right.
Ah,
Because
You
he
know,
says pair. He says pair twice.
right. And yeah, and it sort of fosters the downness of this guy, but it doesn't quite move it. The metaphor and underwear is in disrepair. They do
Uh-huh.
rhyme, but I don't know. I go back and forth because there's a lot. I like it for some reasons. I don't like it for other reasons.
yeah.
I
It's
think I had changed that at one time to take out the disrepair and pair of underwear, but I thought, nah, it doesn't work. What I had changed, I didn't. I thought
So, did you change disrepair? That you
found me yeah, because I liked the last clean pair of underwear.
yeah. Be interesting if you could tie that to your overall metaphor. I'm not sure how.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what I said then, but I mean it
You know,
rhymed and it was something kind of meaning disrepair, but it was like, nah, it doesn't work. I mean but
Yeah.
but
What
that
if you
I
said-
know what you're what
see, the way I heard that first line kind of set up the metaphor.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But
Yeah,
then, but then he puts him as a fixer upper. You know, like the house that needs to be renovated.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know. I kind of
Yeah.
like that line, but
yeah. I haven't decided, but I guess it doesn't matter what I decide.
well I shared
Yeah, it
your
does.
I shared your opinion because I was like, disrepair, pair of underwear, twice. But then I couldn't think of anything else to put in there.
Yeah.
What if you said a set of underwear?
You could go to hair too. I mean, if you're, hair.
How about
is-
despair rather than disrepair or something about
Yeah.
Why is
He's
the underwear
he is in
clean?
despair.
Shouldn't the underwear be dirty?
Well, no, the last.
Well, he's been
last
saving
clean.
it.
He's been saving. He's in his last clean. After this, it's all downhill. Yeah.
Found me in some disrepair in my last clean set of underwear.
Set. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
like,
not-
maybe I'm silly, but I like the pair, but
yeah, I don't. That actually doesn't bother me at all, especially with the rhythm of those words. I mean,
Mhm.
it's flipping them around, you know, it's
Yeah.
kind of fun. It's kind of
I
fun.
can relate to, but I did have that
Yeah.
same reaction.
Yeah.
This was one that I woke up in the middle of the night and went, I need to change that. And then I changed it and I'm like, nah, I went back.
I
But
think
I do understand what you're thinking, David.
Yeah. It may be the best it's going to be until you put it down, and then, you know, 1 million people listen to it, and then you'll say, oh yeah,
Yeah.
and come up with the right line.
Huh.
Well, you could just leave out pair of and sing in my last clean underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a thought.
Disrepair is kind of an interesting word. It seems like a little difficult to sing, but it's different from despair. It's a
Well, and that
kind
goes
of vulnerability. You're kind of
it-
coming apart.
Can you rhyme whitey tighties? Boxers.
It all
yeah.
goes with what Tom picked up. You can't tell that this guy's in home improvement stuff.
Mhm.
That's what he does for a living. But it was it all ties to that renovation stuff.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Oh, that,
It'd
okay.
be
Right
ironic
up
if he
on it.
works at Lowe's, you know, or Home Depot.
That's right. That's right.
He found me in some disrepair, sitting in a broken chair or something. You know, you can do broken. You know, fixing a broken chair or something. Stairs. The stairs might need repair. I don't know.
There.
Under there. Yeah. Underwear? Under there.
Over there.
You guys ready to hear it again? Maybe we'll have some
Maybe
other.
I'll run
thoughts.
that past him. I've given him, he gets it. In the last of my underwear, is that what you were saying? Found me in some disrepair in the last of my underwear.
That's not as clear, but
No.
Yeah. I'm
No.
gonna
In
keep
my
it like
last
this.
clean underwear. That was one version.
In my last clean underwear.
Paisley underwear.
Ah, sexy, Dave.
Hey, David.
Oh,
Stinky
work.
underwear.
well. That's a whole other song.
We're screaming.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to get through this now. All right.
And how about your pace? You were thinking
I'll
about.
slow it down a little bit. Can you hear this all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You found me in some disrepair in my last clean pair of underwear. You always loved them fixer-upper shows. My stock was down, but you took a shine to my well-worn charm and steep decline. Why you bore this burden, heaven only knows. All my life's been rough terrain. If they didn't laugh, then they'd complain. They said I couldn't do one thing right. Well, I found my one right thing. Less drunk than I had been in years, I held a job, and it appeared that you'd pulled off a total renovation. Then your mom got sick and you traveled home, leaving me in this full moon alone. Surely I deserve a celebration. At the time it didn't seem so much, a drink, a look, and then a touch. No, it really wasn't all that much. It cost me everything. Funny how it all goes wrong when the one right thing ain't around. You built me up, but I'm crashing down without my one right thing. project, it was structurally unsound. You did your best, you gave your all, but such a wreck was born to fall. So leave it where you found it, on the ground. I simply couldn't bear the weight, the pressure of a love so great. No steel or lies could fabricate that I was undeserving. Funny how it all goes wrong when the one right thing ain't around. You build me up, but I'm crashing down without my one right thing. Funny how it all goes wrong when the one right thing ain't around. You built me up, but I'm crashing down without my one right thing. Without my one right thing. Without my one right thing.
What do you think? I think it's the tenderness comes out much clearer.
Yeah.
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 When it's
Yeah,
yeah.
I do like that slower pace.
Lower. Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you're telling a story, so you rush through it, you can't understand it. And it's nice. It's a nice little song, and it
Mhm.
really does remind me of a John Prine song.
Yeah.
The way it's written in the way it's it's a little
Yeah.
bit more dynamic with the minors and things like that, but
Mhm.
which is good.
So
Yep.
that's the second time it's ever been, well, the second and third time it's ever been played. I
All right.
played it down in Patagonia with those guys, and then just now. So it was,
Yeah.
it's I think this guy, will be hearing from him. He
Good.
is,
Good.
he's a
Good.
Where's he
Hope
from?
shows. Hope he
he's from
shows
here
up.
in Cincinnati.
Oh,
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. So and I told Peter I'm going to invite him to our group. So
absolutely.
Tell
I
him
just
we'll be nicer.
Peter, he's
Pardon?
gonna like some. He's gonna like some of your songs, Peter.
yeah,
Yeah. I hope so.
So I want to just make this other comment on I think slowing it down made me less anxious to get anxious to get to the chorus.
Ah,
You know,
that's
I was just taking it slower and I was just going a phrase at a time or
Mhm.
whatever. And I think it works a little better slower.
That's an interesting thing about the dynamics. If it's slower, it takes you longer to get there, but slower it's a better or something. Maybe the speed makes you anxious. That's a very good thought about speed, about rhythm, about pace. Yeah.
Tempo, yeah.
yeah.
Well, the
It
slower the better.
It was easier to sing.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like it. It seemed it was much more relaxed as you're telling the story, and it came across. And the lyrics are clever, but if they go too fast, you can't understand them, and they're not meaningful. But in this version, they were much more meaningful. It sounded, it rolled along very nicely.
Mhm. Yeah. Thanks.
So here's something that caught my attention this time. I think the use of the do one thing right, one right thing, those are really good phrases. But then I
Mhm.
started to think about one right thing. If one right thing is the relationship, that has one kind of meaning. If the one right thing is the person, it sort of objectifies the person, which doesn't seem so right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody else.
Mhm. Not until you brought it up.
It's not clear what the right thing is, and I think there could be some pushback a little bit if a person is.
Yeah, well, I
objectified.
wouldn't repeat it as much, less is more with that line. I wouldn't repeat it as much because as I said, it's a little obtuse, and so it's kind of a line that the person listening has to kind of interpret themselves what it means.
Yeah, yeah.
But the song defines it, so that's why it needs to be sung. That's why it's almost like a riddle, the way the song has been written. It's clever. It's very clever.
It happens without my one right thing. The one right thing. Yeah. And both, I guess all lines. I kind of felt that it was her too, but I didn't mind that. Maybe I'm not as woke or sensitive or whatever. Yeah.
That's not what I got. I got without the one thing I did right in my life, which was, this relationship,
Yeah.
so it didn't bother me.
I think
That's
I have
what
a
I-
different perspective.
David?
First of all, I came in late. I had an important phone call right at the beginning of the meeting, so I didn't even hear your first playthrough.
Oh,
Perhaps maybe the last couple lines. So most of what I heard was discussion. I think that's interesting to bring up in case people do come in late. We talked about the idea of repeating a song if we have the time. Well, if you do that and somebody comes in late, they get the benefit of that. But anyway, to answer some of your question, so I heard it a second time, and I did think the one right thing was the person from the very first time it was said. For me, the best line is it really wasn't all that much that cost me everything. I would have done that line 100 times. Not 100, obviously, but that would have
Yes,
that would have been a big weave in my web if I was.
I agree. I said earlier, I don't know if you heard, but yeah,
don't
I
think I
choke
did,
up when I sing that.
Yeah,
Wasn't really all that much that cost me everything. I'm like, what a great line. It's just,
that's the best one.
And maybe I would end.
That's the one
maybe
to
I would-
repeat.
But I would repeat the line that you wrote, Steve. You know, they said I couldn't do one thing right. Well, I found my one. Well, what is it? On all my life.
found my one right thing.
Yeah, all my life's been a rough terrain. If they didn't laugh, then they'd complain. They said I couldn't do one thing right. Well, I found my one right thing, and that's the way I'd end it. That's the way I ended the song.
Oh, that's interesting thought.
That's a good way. That's a good end.
That does make a good ending, yeah. Like maybe like right as you say that, you just the last chord, you say found it, and then the song's done. Like you mean like that?
You don't
That
even have
sounds-
to sing it. You could just recite it without the guitar.
Oh, I like that.
Found my one right thing. Yeah. Good work. This is, by the way, this double play is good idea. I think we'll keep it
I
up
like
if we
that
can.
idea.
Yes.
Yeah, because I didn't get everything I got. Yeah, first time. Yeah. I think we expected that.
Got some
Okay,
good
guys.
notes.
Well,
Thank
that's
you.
kind of a credit to the song that has us curious to hear it some
Mhm.
more, to get more out of it.
Mhm.
There's curiosity is evoked and some question is evoked because it's kind of profound material in human experience. And when that's true, it takes a while to get through the complexity.
Yeah, I think the guy just impressed me. He's got another one. I'll get that for you.
Okay. All right. David Hirschberg, you ready?
Thanks, Steve.
You want
Thank
to
you.
you want to introduce yours there, David?
Well, I heard from a sage singer-songwriter, performer, interpreter of music that he doesn't really want to have to explain the songs.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Well, I
Good
was
advice.
introduced.
So I would, and one of the reasons I thought it would be helpful for me to be able to do these twice is I just want to throw it out there and see what the comments are and see what's interpreted, and then we can talk about the song if anybody wants to talk about it.
Okay, that's good. I got you. Let's see. Open this up. Here comes David Hirschberg's song, which I've heard. It's get the picture up really nice, and I'll scroll it if it needs to be scrolled. And let's go. Screen share. Sound on.
We took a gamble when we built this house. It ain't all changed. We took a gamble when we built this house. It ain't all changed. In who's the devil, we let him play. First we win, so we let him stay. Ain't no bleach can wash that away. It ain't all changed. Full of pride, think we got the touch. It ain't all change. Full of pride, think we got the touch. It ain't all change. Don't matter what we plead or vow, the devil get his due somehow. He taking over Main Street now. It ain't all change.
Bravo.
Standing here can't just shake my head. It ain't all change. Standing here can't just shake my head. It ain't all change. We best believe in original sin. Got to change the shape we're in. Ain't no way to friend the devil and win. It ain't all change. I had a dream when I was 10 years old. It would all change.
Wow.
Oh, man. I've heard that 5 times now or more. I'm telling you.
Really.
Whew. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. This is feels like a gospel song, not just without a devil and original sin. It's I mean, when I heard Bleach the first time, I go, oh my God, and then when I heard Main Street, this song is layers that just blow me away. And then the 10-year-old thing, that was it. I'm gone. I gobsmacked.
Hey, I'm curious why you didn't start with that line, the 10-year-old line. And bravo, but also bravo on everything else too. Yeah, like I mean that climax in the middle where the organ seeps in with the bass line, it was fantastic. But yeah, why'd you start with that line?
Nah,
No?
I kind of like it at the end.
that's the end thing.
Huh.
That's
Interesting.
where you find out it's been going on his whole life.
Oh.
The song was inspired by something that Peter wrote that I put music to that we did a few months ago. What Wayne said, and it was talking about no change.
Oh,
And
yeah.
coincidentally, more or less at that time, I also saw a version of the musical 1776, which is about the founding of the country. And one of the big dramatic points of that is the decision to allow slavery to be legal in the country. And so thinking back on that and thinking about, thinking that in Peter's song, it sort of just went into this, I don't know, gospel-ish, and it's not gospel, but maybe biblical, fire and brimstone sort of devil stuff.
The music is really gospelly. I just heard you can get away with that, but God's going to run you down. I mean, I heard that just recently. I kind of and it had that same musical feel.
It's a couple of other things. The slavery has been called the original sin in the founding of the country. So that's one thing. And the fact that when in the Constitution, don't ask me how anyone's going to know this, but this is what I put into the song. And I'm curious to know what you guys got out. But the fact that during the Constitutional Convention, they allowed enslaved peoples to be counted as 3/5 of a person, which just sort of prolonged the institution, as well as put us in the condition that we're in today, where states certain states have disproportionate amounts of electoral votes. So that's my part of the song.
Yeah, it's nice to know that now. And
so I guess what I'd like to know is what you guys heard.
Okay.
Is there a story? Is there anything?
I heard a mystery, if I can go first. I mean, I heard a mystery. Something's wrong. And we talked, David, once about writing and hitting that thing that wakes up new territory, wakes up ideas without being didactic or literal or narrative. I don't know and when, even though I don't know it's about 1770, taking over Main Street just made this thing. So I got the whole story in the template or the structure or the configuration of what's really behind it. And I felt it without knowing, because of how well it's written. That I'd like to say that. And you brought up the mystery. You brought it when it ain't all change. That emphasis in there, the way that melody. I mean, there's so many ways you could have sung that. It ain't all change. It ain't all change. It's just right. That's what I felt. Even though I didn't understand what was under it, it felt right to me. I got the feeling, the same feeling it would have came out if I had known, comes out, though I don't know, but a little better because I don't know. That's the end of mine.
Same here.
Thanks.
Well, it's interesting. Life is funny because I just finished reading, and David and I wrote that song On the Breeze, which kind of, thematically kind of falls into line with this song, which I didn't recognize right away until he started telling us what, But I just read 3 of Colson Whitehead's books, including the Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
And if I were you, I would get his email address or his publisher's address and send him those lyrics. Because now that you described it's metaphorically it tells a story of what he's talking about in his writings.
So David, to your point about why I didn't use those last 2 lines first, I thought about it as we were talking about this. I think the first part of the song is the historical and the last part is the personal.
Okay.
I think that's why I did it that way.
It
Plus-
felt sorry.
No, go ahead.
It felt personal right away. I saw, like, by the time we got to the end, I kind of, in my head, it did a little flip, and I heard it going, just opening with big chord, and then I had a dream. I was 10 years old. It would all change, and then later in the song, it would go, instead of "it ain't all change," you would say something like "it ain't gonna change." It'll never change. It'll never change. I also just really liked the I just liked the grossness of ooze and bleach, and I wanted it to get a little grosser.
That's a recurring theme here, I think.
Well, I like the segue from the Steve song about reconstruction and your build this house.
Yeah.
I almost mentioned it, but I didn't when I listened to Steve's song, but I didn't want to tip off this one. Yeah.
I was looking at it as a love story kind of thing, building house. That was the, but then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, duh.
Yeah, and if you tell me it's about 1776, I lose all those other things that could be. It's nice to know it's about 1776 later. I mean, Puff the Magic Dragon is, well, it's about drugs. Oh, fine. Who cares? It's pretty.
And that's the benefit of just playing the song. That the Steve Saunders theory of not having to explain a song. Is you can personalize it. You can make it whatever you want it to be.
Very good.
And if in this group, you really don't have to explain these things. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, but in the other group, something was they were strong as a butterfly, and I'm like, that's not very strong, and she was justifying how mighty it was, and I'm like, well, okay. and if you have to justify something like that, I think you got to work on your song again. But
depends what strong as a butterfly is adjacent to, and in a way too. I mean,
the monarchs make about a 4,000-mile flight every year.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
5,000 miles.
Yeah.
And
it's an oxymoron. It's like the
changes the world.
Hot as ice. It's an oxymoron, as strong as a butterfly. But yeah,
instead,
it depends where it's set in the song. Wow. I'm sorry. I walked over somebody.
Nah.
Wasn't the first time. Won't be the last.
Oh, true.
That
ain't old change,
Yeah. So if you've got enough comments, we'll play it again.
Yeah.
Is the screen still up? Yeah, we're still sharing it.
Yes.
Okay, here we're gonna put it back at the beginning and roll it.
We took a gamble when we built this house. It ain't all change. We took a gamble when we built this house. It ain't all change. In ooze the devil, we let him play. First we win, so we let him stay. Ain't no bleach can wash that away. It ain't all change. Full of pride, thinking we got the touch. It ain't all change. Full of pride, thinking we got the touch. It ain't all change. Don't matter what we plead or vow, the devil get his due somehow. He taking over Main Street now. It ain't all change. it ain't all change. Standing here, can't just shake my head. It ain't all change. We'd best believe in original sin. Got to change the shape we're in. Ain't no way to friend the devil and win. It ain't all change. I had a dream when I was 10 years old. It would all change.
Bravo again.
Yeah, like the kids would say nowadays, that middle section slaps.
Slaps.
Flat.
Nice.
It slaps.
Flat.
No,
Oh.
slaps. Like
Slaps.
slap. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
I have to tell you that when I heard shake my head, I heard shit my head. And I went back and listened. Oh yeah, he is saying shake my head. Did anybody else have that misunderstanding? The old man's ears? Okay, or what?
I can't think I can hear what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. That's a production thing. It's not.
It's in the phrasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shake my head.
I think
Yeah.
after hearing you explain it, David, and I gotta say, 1776 is one of my favorites. I was in that play in high school, and I know the words to every song. But you know, it meant something a little different to me hearing it the second time after hearing that explained.
Mhm.
But the good thing is, you don't have to know that about it. I don't think.
Yep.
I think the real turning point to me in the song is in that third verse. You know, there's no way to friend the devil and win. And I think that's kind of what things talk about in whatever you're building or bringing together. You can let that devil come in because you have to compromise on things. There's no way to really friend the devil and win in the long run. And really, to me, that's what makes the last two lines at the bottom there. That's what makes them really fit there.
Okay.
Sorry, David Lloyd, but I think that's why they really fit there, is because that's it kind of wraps up the idea of the song. Well, back when I was 10, I thought it would all change.
Yep. That was when that's a speech, right?
Yeah.
Innocent dream. I had a dream. This is up there with Strange Fruit.
Well,
Well.
maybe I sing like Billie Holiday.
That's the reason.
That's why.
Doc Holliday, sorry.
Doc Holliday. This is up there. Yeah. Okay, gentlemen. What do we got now? We went through. Ed Goodfriend might have something. Gilker might have something. I can tell you that David Hirschberg and I are thinking about writing something about the 1937 flood. I made some notes on it today. That's about where we are on it. How's everybody feel?
Heard a song called Flood of 37.
Did you?
Yes.
We should.
Did you really?
We should talk to you first.
When? Did you write it by yourself? You know it? You didn't remember?
In 1937, he wrote it. Yeah.
All right, he's gonna play it.
All right.
God's hand came down from heaven in the flood of 37, saved my soul, washed my sins away. I said God's hand came down from heaven in the flood 37, he saved my soul, blessed my sins away. Blowing, growing gold leaf on a stretch of land, owned by a judge, a cruel, corrupted man. Harvest time, he shorted our pay. Daddy fought for what he could in the righteous way. So he went to the judge's house, beg and plead for a fair amount. Man then pulled a pistol, held it up, and shot my father down. The sheriff spared him of any blame. The two men shared the same last name. Another sharecropper who disappeared in a dark and desperate way. In Ohio winter, I did what I could to help my mother chopping firewood. I planned for the spring, oh, I prayed for the sun. To keep from starving, I sold my father's guns. When the flood waters rose from the January snow, the judge came to collect from my mother what he thought our family owed. I took my harvest knife and he touched my father's wife. So I took my harvest knife and I stabbed him in the shoulder and I took his very life. No one saw us in the dark as we rode down from the hill to the raging river by the drowning whippoorwill. I know he killed my father and touched my mother's wife. So I threw him in the water and I watched him wash away. Well, we planted the gold leaf and the judge's land that spring. And I believe in the truth of these words you'll hear me sing. God's hand came down from heaven in the flood of 37, saved my soul, washed my sins away. God's hand came down from heaven in the flood of 37, saved my soul and washed my sins away.
Yeah. Okay.
Whoa.
Wow.
Keeping that one, Rick.
I kind of fucked up the word some, but you got it.
Yeah, we got the idea.
Definitely.
Remind me never to piss Rick off.
Or to kill his father. Yeah, I don't want to kill his.
That's his mother.
Yeah.
Song,
Let's let's discuss it and play it again. If everybody's got, what do you want to tell us about it, Rick? Anything about the process or what?
Well, yeah, it was just, in 1978, we were living out near Newtonsville and we had to move. And so I found this house to rent near Felicity. And Felicity is very close to nowhere, but it was in the middle of the country. And so this Judge Castle, Lyle Castle, owned this property. And he said, "I'll tell you what, you come out, you fix up the property, you rehab it, and I'll let you rent it for $115 a month for as long as you want." So I drove over there like this. If you guys remember what the winter of 78 to 79 was.
Mm-hmm.
It was
77 too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I fixed this place up and painted and all this kind of shit. And we moved in. And it was like later, like in May, I was gone, went someplace, and I came home, and the judge's daughter, who was a real estate agent, was showing the house to somebody to sell it. you know, so so that's how we met, man. That's why we moved to Madisonville in 1978.
Okay.
It was just like, you know, so anyway, now I got the idea of this asshole judge owning this property out in the middle, out near, and so I thought, well, I don't know, it just started there. And it just thought about, what it would have been like to get screwed over by somebody. And, and the sharecroppers at the time or any time, they're next to nothing. And this guy stood up and just shot this guy and got away with it. But he didn't quite get away with it, so, so, it was, just a story, how you
Sure.
kind of thing that, it reminds me, when I was in the 7th grade, my mom came in to talk to this nun, my teacher, and she said, to my mom, Rick is like here. Some days he's like right on top of everything, and other days he just seems to be a million miles away. Have you ever thought about taking him to see a psychiatrist? I've always been thinking about shit like that, about stories. So anyway,
that's
one of the upside of not being a daydreamer.
There's another bad story. I have to remember, and I'll look it up to confirm it. But as I recall, and I saw it today in the news, in the Wikipedia, that the flood level at, I don't know, a certain point by the bridge got to 79.9 feet. And the charge is that somebody kept it under 80 because at 80 feet, a certain kind of insurance would kick in for everybody. And so the official, somebody pulled strings and said, no, it was 79.9 feet. And a lot of people got screwed. I have to get to the bottom, look at that again. I don't know what the story is, but it sounds right?
I believe it 100%.
Yep.
There's a song in there somewhere.
Yeah, well, David Hirschberg and I are. You want to join us, Rick? You got some 37 experience.
Yeah,
you were there, right, Rick?
Right. I wasn't very old, but I was there.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking with someone a few weeks ago, a musician, and he says, we musicians we're different than everybody else. I said, well, you get a bunch of musicians together and they're the ones that are different.
Yeah.
Goes, hey, I never thought of that.
Taking a look at the cavalcade in this group, man. I mean, kind of. Well, never. I'm one of the group that so.
Hey, while you're happy, give me a big smile for the picture. Hey, Victor, smile. Everybody's happy there.
Neck,
yeah. For the report. Thank you very much.
Nice to see everybody.
Yeah, it is nice to see everybody. Now that I've kind of taken a plan, let me play this song that just has got me so. I'm
Okay.
Peg's birthday is January 3rd. So I tried to write this song, get it done for her birthday, and it's like one of those things. I played it sent Dave a copy of it, and I wrote him today saying, I just figured out what the problem is, and I won't tell you what I think the problem is because why don't I just play this, because I'd rather play this song than that first one. I'm sorry, I already got that one written. This one's a pain in the ass.
That's a good. By the way, Leroy is his birthday is January 3rd.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
This won't work for him. I'm pretty sure.
Push your computer screen up or down a little bit so we can see it better.
Me?
We're just
Like
seeing.
this?
Yeah, it's Rick. Yeah. Much better. Yeah.
Better?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
That's better.
What a nice guitar that is. Wait a minute.
Hear the guitar.
Rick, we cannot hear your guitar.
Okay. Shit.
Okay, I think I can help out with this.
Okay, what should I do?
Are you on a laptop?
Yes.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. bring your cursor over the top of the Zoom meeting. And hopefully just as soon as you move your cursor over, you'll see something in the top left corner called Original Sound for Musicians.
Original sound for musicians.
Upper left.
Does that appear in the upper left of your screen when you pull the cursor over the screen?
Okay. No, it just says YouTube live, and then there's a red button.
Yeah.
Okay. There should be something to the left of that. If there's not, then what you want to do is maybe go down to the microphone in the bottom left that says mute, but you don't have to hit mute. Look for a little arrow next to that microphone.
I see it.
Okay, click it and go into audio settings.
Audio settings, just a second.
Way at the bottom.
I got it.
Now go look under audio profile. Do you have that menu? Now click something called Original Sound for Musicians. If you don't have that,
got it.
there you go. All right, now you can exit out of this menu, but you might still have to look at the top left corner of the home screen and click Original Sound for Musicians on.
Click on okay, got it.
Yep, and I heard that little click when you hit that. So now strum a couple chords, please.
Yeah.
David, thank you.
Wow, David, isn't it great to have somebody here that's like knows what the hell they're doing, you know?
The young ones, 12 years old, would do that too.
Come lay down beside me. Put your body next to mine. Rest your head on my shoulder. Put your arms around me. I want to feel your arms around me. The world's full of darkness. When I look in your eyes, all my fear washes away, 'cause I know our love will survive. Time's all we got, let's not waste a drop. Let's just be here now. Nothing I'd rather do than spend my time with you. Oh, let's be here now. Let's not live in the past. We can't change what's been done. Forgive ourselves yesterday's sins, let them fade away in the morning sun. Oh, let's not worry about tomorrow. We'll go blind trying to see what's around the next corner. It's never what you think it's gonna be. Oh, time's all we got, let's not waste a drop. Let's just be here now. There's nothing I'd rather do than spend my life with you. Oh, let's be here now. Time's all we got, let's not waste a drop.
All right, sorry, Victor. I muted you after you coughed. I thought you might do it again. I coughed again. Oh, I'll tell you one line problem. The whole song maybe has a problem, but the one thing you got a line that said the world is full of darkness when I look in your eyes.
Your eyes, yeah.
Yeah. So what I know, when you look in your eyes, it leads you into something else. But it sounds like those are together rather than when I look in your eyes, everything's wonderful. You continue. Yeah. So there's a need to You got to separate those. Yeah.
World's full of darkness, but when I look in your eyes,
Maybe a butt will do it.
the word "but," and I don't like that.
I don't like butt either, but
I don't think it's clear enough.
maybe
Just leave a little time, put a bar of rhythm in there.
yeah, put a bar. Yeah, take some time away.
Okay.
Or melody might change it. Well, when I look, I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, but yet it's sort of it's very important. Yeah, it's like that's very disconcerting. You know, this
Yeah.
world full of darkness and I look in your eyes. So what's wrong with you? You know,
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
She's got dark. She got dark eyes. Yeah.
That's true.
Can you,
What do
I
you
don't know
think the
the text
problem
of the-
is?
like, when the world is filled with darkness, I can always look in your eyes or something like that.
Yeah.
excuse me.
And
Thank you.
I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay, we got that one.
Like
you-
when the world is filled with darkness, pause. I just look in your eyes.
Yeah, that
I
kind of
just
thing.
look in your eyes. Yeah. Okay. I like
Yeah,
that.
you'll fix it with either one of those or your own, because yeah, it's
Make sure they add the comma.
yeah, comma. When I look in your darkness, comma.
Comma.
Then who was that? Who was that did a whole thing with making punctuation sounds? Victor Borga.
Well,
Yeah.
our cousins always say, let's eat, grandma.
Yeah, let's eat, comma, grandma.
Punctuation saves lives.
Punctuation saves lives. That's good.
Yeah.
I
So
got that from a T-shirt, not from being clever.
I have a little trouble with "Be Here Now."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's something that's not a strong enough statement.
Yeah.
And it's a big get of a cliche now. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. In
The
fact,
relationship,
when
not
when you started, all of the lines were stock. Put my arms around you, put your head on my shoulder. It's a little stock.
Yeah.
Like Victor Harrison would say, moon and June and spoon, you know. So, but I mean, and on the other sense, you're writing to a woman you love, and that's just straight up of what's going on. It's okay, but that's the danger, you know, in my mind. Yeah.
The melody had a really nice feel there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the melody on the verses.
Mhm.
Okay, that's probably to me the yeah. Yeah, and I get what you're saying in terms of it being cliche, in terms of those lines. I mean, how many times have you heard that?
Yeah. Hold you tight. God kill me if I ever write hold you tight, you know. I want to hold.
Sure, I have already, Peter.
Hold you tight. Yeah, hold me tight. Somebody went, yeah.
I think that what Sandy said is the crux for me of the issue.
Mhm.
The whole seeing the song hangs on that.
Mhm.
Okay, and it just doesn't work. I mean, I can live with a cliche. I can, you know, I can.
That's a melody.
Yeah, because you see, the thing is how does the song make me feel?
Mhm.
Okay, and I don't want to write trite lyrics, no, but I want you to feel something.
Mhm.
Okay, and that's what's most important to me, is to change a feeling in myself, to conjure up something, and what that does is there's a marriage of lyric and melody that allows me to do that, or that's the vehicle that changes me, that causes a change inside me, and that's what I'm looking to do. So I can understand what you're saying. If I came up with some other lyrics that I think that were less trite, I would put them in there. But so
you could write the next "Be Here Now." I mean, there's another way to say. I mean, I like that's what you're trying to say. Let's savor this moment. Let's
live in the moment.
Let's live in the moment. And it's been said by so many people so many ways. You can't say it their way. You got to come up with a new way of making us feel now is important. And yeah.
But
Al's all there is.
yeah.
Did somebody say alcohol?
Oh.
No, I'm serious. I missed. Okay, my ear failure is causing too many
That
problems.
reminds me of a good song with a lyric. It goes, "All we have is now. All we ever had was now, or is now." It doesn't. It's kind of changes tenses in the sentence, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You've heard a song with that title?
No, I don't think that's the title, but that's within the song.
Yeah.
It kind of goes, "All we have is now," and then it's just repeated. "All we ever had is now," or was now. I don't quite remember.
Yeah. Be now.
So Rick, origin story. You were writing this for Peggy.
Yeah.
What would she think about it?
Yeah, you got it.
Well, you see, that's
another story.
It's two different responses. One is this very kind of smile, that's sort of like almost plastered on her face. This sort of, you think, yeah, yeah, thank you for this. I'm glad, now let's go watch TV. And the other one is, hey, that's pretty fucking good. So there's two different responses.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
I got it.
She hates it anymore. Okay.
Well, you've been married a long time.
Yeah, we went through that for a while. I stopped playing.
Here's the best compliment I ever had. Judy doesn't, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, good song. I sang Cool Water. All day I faced the barren waste without. You know what the compliment? She thought I wrote it. That sounds like one of your songs. Oh.
So I mean, that was actually a serious question. Are you writing this for you, or are you writing this for her?
I was writing it for her as a gift. Yeah. And it's just, I mean, part of it gets me off, but other parts that you guys so adroitly addressed, bother me. And I don't think, and it's frustrating because I haven't been able to, I think, rewrite this song in a way that I think makes me feel comfortable with it. Yeah. And, it's
yeah.
Do this all the time, man. I'm talking to songwriters. You know what it's like.
Yep. Sometimes you throw them out.
What if there's no words? What if you just begin it and there's no words about in that area where we're having trouble with the be here now? I mean, you don't have to say anything if you introduce the depth of your love at the beginning. You don't have to say a lot more than that, or you find or you sort out what everyone's talking about. And you find a different way to say it, and sometimes silence is the way.
Yeah.
And just some chords playing and you say it, I don't know.
Spoken as a true instrumentalist.
Yeah, your chords sound different than his.
So you know what I'm wondering about, Rick?
It took me more than 10 years to write a song for Lana.
Oh, it's impossible. I can't do it. I don't
have to put words to it. I just play some ambiguous chords and find a nice melody, and away I go. But she was stunned.
No.
She just thought it was the most beautiful thing she ever heard. And she wanted it to be a soundtrack to a movie.
Good for you. Good job.
No words. I left the words off.
So go ahead. You missed her birthday this year.
Yeah, I did.
Put it away till next year.
You got a year to go.
I seriously, I mean, that's half a joke, but don't force it.
Yeah. I've tried to force it, Dave, and it just, and I'm not crazy about the way that
you broke it.
So anyway, thanks for listening and your
No, that's what we're here for.
That was nice.
So I was thinking about something, Rick. there was a part of listening to it that I thought, this is just a really sweet, simple, straightforward song. And I enjoyed that a lot. And then I can think about all the comments that everyone is saying. But if I put myself in your shoes, if I've said a lot of things to Eileen over the years, is there something unique about this time in your life that is built on all of these similar things? Is there a unique image that starts to emerge for you that allows you a different way to say something that's familiar, but that has a quality of uniqueness that's relative to this now between the two of you?
Yeah. Well, and now is sort of a sum of all the times it's come before too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's, yeah. Okay.
I think maybe you have to drop in some physical things about her that are really, I mean, that stand out, you know. Somebody once complimented, I like the way the hair falls across your face, or some, you know, what I see now is, you know, that little mark on your cheek, or,
Okay, in other words, get rid
concrete
of the cliched part and do something more descriptive of her.
Yeah.
Personal.
I mean, over the B part instead of the B part, because right now, this is what I see. Right now, I see, you know, this moment, this magic moment. I love that song. Which your answer close to mine was just like any other until I met you. You know, there's just the moment. I don't know, the moment that be here now is generic. What is the moment, right? You know, get into the concrete of the moment right now. I don't know what that means.
The relationship has brought you to this time and place.
Jason Isbell's got a couple of songs that are just killer. One is Cover Me Up, and it basically talks about why he quit drinking, and it was because of her. But that would be a good one to listen to, just kind of get some ideas. And then Vampires, If We Were Vampires. And when he first started out, it's not the last line, the last part of it is, if we were vampires and life was a joke, we would sit out on the sidewalk and smoke and laugh at all the lovers and their plans. And I wouldn't feel the need to hold your hand. And it was like, but
wow. Yeah,
I mean, it's,
you know what, when I first heard that song, and I just heard the title of it, Vampires, and I thought this is going to be cheesy because there's all this shit about vampires. And I listened to that and I thought that was one of the nicest songs I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That was really a good song.
Yeah, maybe Rick, I mean, I know there are moments that in your relationship that are so, the day that you touched her on the nose and made the joke, the day that those B's are now B's, you know, if it all comes together some kind of way, that's only she and you would know, that aren't so unique that like people say, what the hell did you do? You know, but if you want to keep the song universal, it needs to be. But if it's just for her, then it's things you don't want to even tell us. Those things that are just that you did.
Yeah.
You know. That
I share with her.
Yeah. That first. What was the situation in the first kiss, and what, you know, was there something funny about the way you put your hand on her shoulder or something? I mean, those little things maybe somehow get it. It's not easy, but they get in there maybe.
And Robin Williams on Good Will Hunting, talking about his love. He didn't go to the World Series because he went to see this girl. He met her at a bar and gave his tickets up to the World Series because of this woman. That's such a great song or a great movie. and he said, she knows all of my picadillos and still loves me. And I was like, wow, what a great line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just really appreciate the conversation because it really has got my mind
Good.
working. We'll see what happens next.
Okay.
We'll be interested to hear.
Looking forward to it.
If you,
Yeah,
if
we
you
want to
feel like
follow up
sharing
on
it.
this one. Make a note. We want to. Where did he go?
Yeah.
Unless it's too personal.
Yeah.
Then we don't want to hear
And la, 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 la,
it.
You could do Sandy's routine.
Video at 11.
Yeah.
Play some chords and kind of,
Yeah, just play chords. Play some different chords, use a capo.
That's right.
I'll play them for you.
Hey,
guys,
everybody, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey,
Yeah,
Steve, that's right.
Yeah, it is. It's our first one, January. We're starting the 2003 edition, 23 edition. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Anything else? I made some notes here. Let me make sure I did everything I said I was going to do. Take the picture. Yeah. And we're on live. Next will probably be the 28th, unless somebody's got, and so we're good. We did the second time around. Yeah. Victor sent something. I'll maybe I put in the report. And that's it. You want to play something, Sandy? Take us home. Sandy, it's a little harsh, and you're breaking up, and we're losing you.
That original sound for musicians.
Yeah.
What?
Sandy, I think you're on an iPad, right?
Yeah.
So iPads don't and phones don't have the same types of capabilities that the laptops
No.
and the desktop computers do.
Correct.
We're gonna get what we get if he plays into a tablet microphone.
I'll put my hand up. You'll know I'm playing nothing. No.
We won't be sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe you back away.
I've been using this same piece of equipment the whole time that I've been showing up here.
It's good at catching voices, but not music. It hears music and it thinks that the music's interrupting with the meeting, so it shuts it down.
Yeah. Yeah, you're breaking up.
So we're gonna get intermittent music, but yeah.
Let's move back a little bit from this.
Maybe if you move.
Moving back might be a good try. That might be a good option.
Yeah. Let's give it some space. Give it some space. It's overmodulating.
Yeah, I was doing it. It was interesting because at one point it was easy. It was easy to play, and somehow tonight it's not. I don't know. I'm happy to play. I'm happy to just say thank you and good night.
Zoom had some updates recently.
Thank you.
So that's the head of the song I wrote for Lana.
Oh, nice.
That's the head of it. So, yeah, what I'll probably do is just tape it and send it to you that way.
Oh, that's a good.
Oh, that's a
idea.
good,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, we got we got the harmonics mostly, but there were a lot of harmonics.
Ah, it was interesting you say that. There was only 2 harmonics, but it placed the attack of the string as another tonality. Where I hit the string, it's some other sounds.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think that's part of the interpretation of that system. What it was able to capture frequency.
no good. Maybe everybody had a little different.
Sounded nice to me.
Thank you. Nice to see you guys.
Well,
I miss you.
Likewise.
You too.
Likewise. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy
Happy
New
Ed,
New
you're
Year.
muted.
Oh,
We'll look forward to meeting your friend, Steve, your new song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he hasn't heard it yet. So all the way. So,
So you might
But,
not still be friends.
Tell them that all of us gave a thumbs up.
yeah, I got some great notes, and yeah, slowing it down makes a big difference. Thanks a lot, guys.
Okay. I'm gonna shut us down. Good night.
see y'all. Good
Right.
night.